I think they're all getting what they want out of it. Now, if they had lost to the Rockets in the West Finals last year, and they very well could have, it would have been interesting how this team handles failure, but they haven't had to handle failure yet. So if you keep winning at the end of the day with these personalities, I think, they can survive.
Anthony Slater on the Hang Time podcast. Of course, Kevin Durant, as we mentioned, is expected to opt out of his deal again next summer and become a free agent. Some enterprising New Yorkers used his visit to manifest the dream of Durant in the Knicks uniform on a billboard he would be sure to see and be asked about. Predictably, Durant was non-committal when asked about the possibility of moving to New York next summer. He did say, half jokingly, I think, he's thinking about all the money he's going to get, which will be significant. Of course, there's plenty of that floating around Madison Square Garden. That's where we find John Schumann from NBA.com, who will take in the Warriors and Knicks tonight in person. Shu, how consuming is this Durant dream in New York right now?
Well, what else do they have to think about, I guess, is the point. Kristaps Porzingis is out for the foreseeable future. The rest of this roster is sort of makeshift. There's some promise, obviously in the young players and Frank Ntilikina and Kevin Knox. But the wins and losses are sort of an afterthought at this point. So, you know how it is. I mean, this is a city, a team that dreams of free agents, but well before they become available. And it's been par for the course for the media here to start writing about free agents well before they become available. That's just the way it is.
Well, you dive into the numbers as deeply as anyone, Shu. When Curry is having a night like Wednesday night and Durant is on the floor and scoring as efficiently as he did, can you put into perspective just how formidable the Warriors are offensively?
I mean, you guys talked about it in the last segment. I mean, they're 4-1 with Klay Thompson shooting extremely poorly from three-point range. That's just says what it is. I mean, Curry is the ultimate offensive weapon, I think, in this league, and a guy who can shoot off the dribble and just makes defenses react no matter where he is. If you lose him with the ball, if you lose him without the ball, you're in trouble. And the one thing I always love about the Warriors is not only their shooting, but their ability to take advantage of their shooting to get better shots, and they're willing to pass up, use the threat of the three to get layups and dunks.
All right, less obvious Warriors question here. Golden State, as you know, has kind of shifted from one big man to another during this historic run of theirs. Damian Jones has been the starter so far. Although he's not playing huge minutes, but they're going to him at the tip. What does Steve Kerr like about Jones getting those early minutes?
I mean, I think it's what you got to do. I think, they basically have no choice. And I think Damian Jones is sort of a JaVale McGee type player in that he's big and athletic and he can roll to the basket, catch, and finish. I mean, you can be an effective offensive center. You don't have to shoot threes. As many centers as there are shooting threes in this league, you can still be an effective offensive center by setting good screens, rolling to the basket, being able to catch and finish. And Damian Jones can do that. He's a big, athletic guy. It's like we said, just sort of a little bit like JaVale McGee. And he's taken the lead among those young big guys. As this team waits for DeMarcus Cousins to get back.
If he scores 2 points tonight, he will match his career total in the NBA prior to this season. Knicks, of course, haven't been very good, and they're not very healthy either at the moment. Their rookie Kevin Knox significantly is out with an ankle injury at the moment. What is David Fizdale trying to establish with this team as the roster stands?
Yeah, it's a good question. He even said today, like, his defensive system is barely in place. And so for tonight, like, it's not about focusing on what the Warriors do. It's more about focusing on what the Knicks can do defensively. They're making a lineup switch tonight with Trey Burke and Enes Kanter out of the starting lineup. Damian Dotson and Mitchell Robinson in the starting lineup. So they're starting young. With two 20-year-olds basically at the two most important positions, point guard and center. And so he's basically experimenting. And I think he even said, like in his pregame press conference, that he has the freedom to experiment. And so that's what they're doing tonight with a new lineup.
Honeymoon phase in Manhattan for David Fizdale, but an entertaining night with the Warriors in town. John, enjoy it. We'll talk to you soon. John Schumann with us from NBA.com. All right, guys, as for Durant, the dream lives. Until it is quashed, it lives. He has averaged better than 30 points a game in 8 appearances at Madison Square Garden. That's not that different from anywhere else he's played, really. He is likely to be, how should I put this, warmly received tonight in New York. I think that's probably an understatement. Griff, you've been in the position that Steve Mills and Scott Perry are in now, dreaming the dream, hoping you can lure the big name into your team. What at this juncture, under league rules, can you do to prepare yourself for that eventuality?
You threw in under league rules and now I'm stuck. I don't know. I think one of the things that's really important about free agency is if you haven't been building a bridge and a relationship with that player via USA Basketball to a huge degree, and with your best players being the ones to build that relationship, you're not going to really make a lot of inroads now. So if it's factual that Fizdale is one of KD's favorite coaches, that's a great thing. Porzingis is really going to be the one that recruits him relative to KD believing he can win there. And Porzingis, in all likelihood, isn't going to play this year. So it's not like he's going to be coming into this summer with a groundswell of that guy might be a #1 or a #2 best player.
Right.
KD's not going to get to see that. So I really think it's going to be more about the organization listening to all of the people around KD, all of the fact finding that they can do to figure out exactly what does push the button. If it's not what he has in Golden State, what do we provide? What platform do we provide? And one thing they do offer is the potential to have 2 max free agents together. So if there is one particular target KD has in mind, you would have to clean the decks to make it so that he could use your organization as a template in that way.
Hey, Kevin, Enes Kanter, who was Durant's teammate back in OKC, said last month that he's his best friend. They played together. He says he's working on him. Well, that should be enough, right?
I mean, to be honest with you, that's a start, right?
Yeah.
Now, Kanter thinks he's everyone's best friend, I imagine.
That's true, yes.
But I think that's probably a start. And the other thing that I think we have to be really honest about is they're having conversations with his agent to some degree. In much the same way that Rich Paul had KCP with the Lakers last year, and because of that, he was able to spend time with the Laker brass more often legally.
Right.
You know the Knicks are going to be doing very similar things as well.
And rules or no rules, don't kid yourself. There's plenty of communication going on around the league with regard to agents and players and back channels to make their intentions known.
That makes me believe that what you were saying was if you don't have a player on your team that's represented by the same agent that KD is, you need to go out and sign that player right now so that you can have dialogue.
I don't know who Rick Kleiman has that you would need to go get right now, but I don't care who they are. You should sign him.
Find one of those guys and sign him immediately. Czar, there are plenty of arguments for sticking around in Golden State, his business interests in the Bay Area, the opportunity to win multiple championships moving forward, and playing alongside arguably the greatest shooter in NBA history is a pretty good one as well.
Yeah, Steph Curry makes your job just a little bit easier. Not that Kevin Durant can't do it by himself, but it helps him in getting those open looks. Watch this one right here. Coming down the floor, there's nobody to pitch it ahead to. So what do you do when you have 3 defenders, Griff?
Shoot if I'm Steph Curry.
Yeah, you do. You shoot it 1 against 3. So that's 3 defenders he destroyed on that shot. Here comes a back pick. The defenders are saying, switch, switch. Up, but they both go to the wrong guy, and they leave Curry all by himself. That's 2 more defenders. That's 5. Uh-oh, here comes the next one rotating out. A little ball fake. That's 6 defenders on 2 plays that he just wiped out. Austin Rivers, move up, move up. When you move up, he shoots it right in your face. It's embarrassing what he can do to people.
Look at Austin Rivers' reaction. The best part of those clips is the absolute resignation the defense has for it just doesn't matter where they are when he has it going like that.
From the it's really early in the season file, Steph Curry off to a better start than either of his MVP seasons in 15 or 16 through 5 games. Again, very, very early for Steph. Lots more coming up here on the Auto Trader pregame show as we take you to tip at Madison Square Garden, the Warriors and the New York Knicks. On the way, the latest on Jimmy Butler's situation, his status for tonight. It has changed. And the team willing to mortgage its future to entice Minnesota into a deal.
It's a Friday night doubleheader on NBA TV. It all tips off with the champs playing at the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Garden.
Durant down the lane, right-hand slam for KD.
Hardaway for three, it's good!
Then we head west to Sacramento.
Bagley throws it down with two hands. Beal, alley-oop, pass for Wall.
Warriors at Knicks, followed by Wizards at Kings. Action tips off next on NBA TV.
The King is going crazy, making 10 nuggets just $1. Crazy, right? Crazy crispy, crazy juicy. 10 nuggets made of crazy delicious white meat for just $1. Now that's a crazy deal. Enjoy 10 golden nuggets for just $1, only at Burger King.
You don't need any special training to start slinging.
But you do need to limber up.
Breathe, Daddy. Yeah, there you go, breathe. Look at me, no crying, no crying.
Hey, guys, the game's about to start.
You can pull a hammy slinging if you don't warm up. One last push. We were slinging until well past midnight.
Until my quad seized up.
Sling TV is the live TV you love with no